If you've seen my other videos first, you've seen this big blue pot hanging out in the background and you've been wondering, what the heck is it? Well, I'm going to talk to you about the money plant that I have growing here. Well, it's like a money tree. I guess it's called a money tree, but I've talked about the spider plant here in the background, as well as the vine, and even the string of pearls that I have hanging out back here. And in the corner, I've talked about the umbrella plant. So why haven't you watched those if you haven't already? Go check those out. But like I said, this is called the money tree. And supposedly it's pretty good luck. It's known in many cultures as a good luck plant. Big leaves, you notice kind of right away. And another cool thing is, what's going on here? You see how that doesn't grow regularly like one single stem? They're all kind of braided together, which is how this plant is well known, as well as those big leaves like I mentioned. So this is another bit more of a challenge plant for you guys. Definitely not as easy as the first two that I talked about, the spider plant and the vine. Not as easy as the string of pearls have been for me. About these two have been about the same kind of, but the one thing that did scare me is once I transplanted the money tree, the leaves, you can still kind of see it here with this one, the leaves started to turn really yellow and kind of blotchy, like you see what's going on here. And I thought maybe I stressed it out when I put it into a new pot. Maybe it was too early. It had been a few months before I had transplanted it, but this is new to me, and so I got really nervous. But that's when I found out that the money tree doesn't like direct sunlight, so I moved it away from the window also, and it seemed to do fine. I think it was maybe a little bit stressed out with too much sun, but then also I just put it into a new pot and it was getting comfy, so it was acclimating to the pot, and the leaves totally fell off, but then that also meant that there were new ones coming in. You can see some small ones hanging out inside there. Let's see, right there, peekaboo. But yeah, it's known to be a little bit more difficult because of the soil it requires. The rocks are actually just a fun little decal that I have, nothing to do with the soil draining, but it really doesn't like to get wet. This isn't necessarily because it's rotten, but if the stems down at the base of the soil do get too wet, they're known to rot, and then the roots kind of die, and then the whole plant gets really sad, and then the leaves start to die, and then sadly the whole plant will die. So do not overwater this one, but also it's kind of a diva. You can't overwater it. Let me reiterate that. This plant is a diva because it also likes to have misted leaves. I've noticed that it does really well when I give it a good water at the base, not on the stem, and then give it a good mist at the leaves. It does really well. That's why I said this one's gonna take a little bit more from you. You can't just leave it and forget about it for a week like some of these other easier ones to do that with. It's gonna require at least once a week watering is what I tend to do, and then like mist twice a week. And then I also give it during springtime this indoor this indoor plant food. There is another one for succulents I talked about in another video, but every springtime only I'll give it a half a pump of the indoor plant food every other week, or every even 2 weeks maybe. And yeah, I've been lucky enough to have it maybe, I don't know, I couldn't even tell you guys actually, I won't go down that road again, but I've been lucky enough to do really well with it as long as I have had it, let's say it like that.